Oh, hello, don't know there yet, but I'm just doing the usual thing of getting set up. I'm trying to do a bit of a landscape today. I don't actually know for YouTube. On the YouTube, I'm sounding a bit odd, like on the Facebook or on the all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's cool. And also check for Twitter. On Twitter. Nice. And then I can click on there to get to Periscope. And then hopefully I'll be able to see Periscope comments as well. Cool. Nice. So, yeah, I'm just doing a bit of a landscape for this window right here. Window, and door. And I need a bit of a path coming out of here. So I'll see how that goes. I'll try and get the path a bit lined up. I think we're probably up about this far to get the path. Maybe giving myself a bit of a guesswork here, and my usual mountainous region. Kind of situation. And then have a few more rolling hills at the front. There, I've kind of, in my head I've got, it's not very suburban for Elijah and Crumpet. In my head I've got them living in the middle of nowhere. Bit of a pathway leading out here. Hope that works. You probably can't see any of this yet because I'm drawing too lightly. You know. And I'm drawing it a bit like a kid's drawing. Not so much like an artist's drawing. Because I don't know if I could draw like an artist. Have a pathway along the front. And yeah, so this is only half page. I don't have to do a full page kind of spread. And we must have a few kind of gum tree. I don't know how do you draw a gum tree? I've got a few gum trees around. They're kind of like limbs with puffy bits on them. And I don't necessarily want the path leading out to look like a like they're walking out and there's a major highway kind of going straight into their door. So I might have to do like a little bit of a road. I don't know. That's an interesting one. I'm not quite sure what to do. Maybe it's the path out to the forest. Something like that. Addis Haven, hello, how you doing? Nice to see you here, Tish. I am just doing a background at the moment. So it's a background which is going behind here. So you'll see it through the windows and the door and the window. But I'm kind of drawing it as an entire piece that I can kind of move around and maybe use later, all kinds of things like that. So I'm drawing in layers. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, because then I can kind of manipulate the image more, and I'm not kind of all drawing it all out as one big piece. So yeah, I hope you're going well where you are. How's the resolution look? The resolution for me, I'm kind of, it's on the laptop and I'm using library Wi-Fi. It looks pretty low. So I don't know if that's what's actually coming through or not. If it looks just plain bad, I might just stop it. But anyway, I thought it'd be good to do a stream with some drawing anyway. You've missed watching my lives. I've missed doing them. All this kind of selling and moving our house, which we've been doing with our kids during the whole situation that's going on right now, is a bit stressful. I didn't have much time. Doing okay, still healthy. So that's what's important in these times. Yeah, totally. Yeah, and I also found all of the kind of stuff which was going on got me down quite a lot, and I found it quite hard to stay motivated and stay creative when it felt like the kind of the whole world's falling apart. But I don't know, I've kind of gotten to a point of maximum intake of all that stuff, as you know. And then I go, it's time to do something. Time to get cranking. And you're still going ahead with lots of lives. I see yours popping up all the time. I didn't get into those as much as I'd like to either. Addis Haven, yeah, I understand that I had to force myself to do my live some days. I always feel better after I do though. Yeah, that's it, you know. You can get stuck in the funk of all the stuff going on. And I'd kind of obsess over it a bit too, you know. Thinking I had to know every single piece of information. And you don't. It changes every 5 minutes anyway. My camera looks to be a little bit, I need a little bit more there. That should be a bit better. Just adjusting my elaborate tripod system, which is the sun visor of the car. Fake it till you make it kind of thing some days, yeah, for sure. Sometimes you just gotta press ahead. Now, Tish, artistic question here. So as I did my mock-up for this page, I had just kind of like a path just leading out into the hills from a front door, and they're running out, and it says, "And there you are finished, you've got it all done. So what's the reward? Let's go and have fun." So there they are, about to walk outside, and I've got this trail going off into the hills, and which is this trail here. I'm just kind of wondering though, does it feel a little bit like they've got, you know, when there's a door here, is it going to feel a little bit like they've got a highway, you know, they open the door and a semi-trailer's going to drive straight in. You know, the road could be over there somewhere. It doesn't have to be, so anyway. That's just my initial concern. Interested to hear your thoughts on that. Lead pencil thing that I've learnt. Lol, I don't think so. I see it more as they have a whole path of investigation ahead of them. That's what I like to hear. Thank you very much, Tish. Because, you know, kids' books and representation of stuff like that, it's just like, you know, there's a path outside the door. Go and have fun and investigate. You don't have to have, okay, you have the road and the fence and the car parked out the front and the traffic lights and all of this kind of stuff and the telephone poles. Like, you know, people are going to question me and go, where's the telegraph poles? And, you know, where are the power lines? Or maybe it's underground power and things like that, you know. I don't think I'm going to be, it's not like a film where people get hung up on details and go, well, that wasn't very realistic, was it? It's a representation. Let's get a bit more shading in here and give it a smudge around. And then, of course, I'll colour it in the Adobe Draw app on my phone tonight. Being a kid is about imagination. I think we forgot about those things as an adult. Unless we're artists. Yeah, I totally agree. And it's funny when I draw like this as well, some of the stylings and the fact that it is for a kid's book, I'm kind of reverting back to the ways which I drew kind of landscapes and things like that when I was a kid, and the way I drew houses, you know, the way you always draw a window in a house as like a square with a cross in it and stuff like that. The chimney on the roof kind of comes off at an angle. All those kinds of things. I mean, not all kids' books are like that, but you know, this one is. Try and get a few more distance. Let's check Periscope. 725 photo. Hi, on Periscope. How you doing? This is a background for a kids book for Elijah and Crumpet called Motivate Man. And this landscape is going to go behind some windows and an open door. But I'm just kind of drawing the whole landscape and going to put it in behind afterwards. So it's just the way I'm doing it. Pity about this, I've got some kind of bug up here that got squished. Gonna have to Photoshop that. So I've got a lawn mowing job to go to after this. Got a couple of lawn mowing jobs. I was going to go early and they said, oh, the grass is a bit wet and it won't pick up very well in the catcher, which is kind of true. And go, can you come a bit later? And I go, I suppose I can come a bit later. So I thought I was going to do drawing between my jobs. But you know, now I'm doing it before. They're lifting a few restrictions here today. They're opening the library and they're letting people dine outside. So fingers crossed that that all goes well and we don't have to go back into, well, we've actually never been in full lockdown here in Australia, but we've managed to do the old flatten the curve thing, flatten the curve, flatten the curve. I'm just exhausted about the whole thing. Exhausted about thinking about it and talking about it. So I'm not gonna, just gonna draw. Just draw! You're on lockdown for another week. Cool. How long have you been in lockdown, Tish? We kind of only went into a thing where a bunch of businesses were shut. Only essential businesses were open. You're encouraged to stay home and work from home. All that kind of jazz. But we never had a full lockdown, what I'd call a lockdown. Where, you know, shut off state borders and there's no travel, of course, or anything like that. And Tish, are you finding lockdown a productive time, or are you finding it hard to be productive in this time? Because it's funny, I hear on a lot of podcasts since the end of March. Okay, wow, a lot of podcasts and entrepreneurial podcasts, because I think being an artist, you've kind of got to be entrepreneurial to be successful. So I'm trying to kind of I don't know, merge those two ideas of being an entrepreneur and being an artist. And they're all saying oh, you know, you can do that thing now, do that book, do the create all this content. You know, there's nothing stopping you now. If you can't do anything now, then you're hopeless. And I actually found it's extremely hard to get motivated while all this is going on. Essential workers only. Jelly Duck, how you doing, sir? Great to have you here. I hope all is well in your part of the world. Because I'm just saying we've lifted out of the next stage of lockdown, or not lockdown, social distancing, all that kind of stuff, and apparently today you can go to the library, and you can go to dine outdoors at a restaurant. I mean, I must have the tables placed widely apart or something like that, I don't know. But so Jelly Duck, I'm doing a bit of a landscape. I've become a landscape artist of a weird fictional world, and it's going to be visible outside of the windows and an open door of the Elijah and Crumpet household. So rather than just, I always find, like, so if I'm drawing landscape in there, I always find it really kind of hard to kind of work out what bit fits where in the landscape. So rather than doing that, place it underneath and move it round till it's kind of in a spot which I really like. So, you know, the windows will get a bit of a view here and the door will get a bit of a view there. Now, I'm going to have to draw this bit upside down, I think, because I don't want to put my hand on the lead pencil and smudge it. Didn't plan that very well. I miss going to my coffee shop. Yeah, exactly. Well, today apparently we can go to our coffee shop. Haven't been yet. I imagine it will be a bit like a music festival type situation. The mosh pit and everything. I want my coffee from the coffee shop! So that's probably why I've kind of subconsciously decided to stay away for a little while and let the craziness subside. Thanks, Jelly Duck. And I always kind of only go twice a month, but I miss those trips. I miss getting my whole bean coffee. I'm rather a coffee snob. Yeah, and I'm starting to think, you know, because lots of coffee doesn't go very well with my what do you call it, nervous disposition, so whatever you call it. If I have too much coffee, I kind of get quite a lot of anxiety starting to build up and stuff like that. So I figure I'll save my coffees for really good ones. You know, if I'm only going to have one coffee a day, whatever, make sure it's a good one. Not that I go to the coffee shop once a day, but you know what I mean. Some people I think go a lot more than that, but anyway. Caribou Coffee makes the best decaf coffee. Truly. I will actually drink it. Okay, I'll have to keep an eye out for that. I know might be seen as a bit of a sin, but I do partake in decaf coffee. Especially when, okay, so I've got the kids to bed, and, you know, it's late at night, and I just feel, and I'm about to, you know, get drawing, and I don't want to have a coffee, because then I'll never go to sleep, and I'll be lying down trying to sleep, and my heart will be pounding, and it's not very conducive to falling asleep. But if I have a decaf coffee, it kind of tricks my brain into thinking, oh yeah, you're having a coffee, it's nice, you're getting a bit of a treat, and it kind of, you know, just tricks your body. Yeah. This could be even, you know, it's the yellow brick road. I don't think it's a sin so much as it doesn't taste right. I'd rather have herbal tea or hot chocolate. Oh, hot chocolate, now you're talking. My stream is stuttering. Yeah, I know, it looks a bit like it's doing it. Ah, I know why. It's on low power mode. Oh! Have I lost everyone? Have I lost everyone? Take out this bit. It's kind of like flickering around, yeah? I thought that was just me. My internet has been weird as of late. Yeah. No, I'm seeing it. My end on YouTube opened up. I wonder if it's doing that stuttering on Twitter. Periscope. Yeah, it might be something in my settings. Kind of looks a bit kind of freaky time-lapse. If my voice is coming through like that as well. Am I stuttering? Yeah, everyone's internet's been a bit weird lately. Because everybody's on it. Now, this is a lot easier than than actually paving. Let's get some really little ones up here. More into like shading. I'm grateful for the internet though, so I do my best to be grateful for what I have, even when it's a pain in the butt. Be grateful for that annoying thing. Yeah, I know. Being grateful. Been trying to focus on doing that lately. It seems to help quite a bit. Certain benefit to the crowd. Here we go. Yellow brick road. I'm not even a... Well, I was going to say I'm not even a Elton John fan. I don't know if that's sacrilege or not. But, hang on. It's not just Elton John, it's a movie. Wizards, you know, do that one. When's the last time you saw Wizard of Oz, everybody? I've screened it at my travelling cinema several times. Seem to recall it being a little bit scary for kids. Those monkeys and that witch. Crazy. Maybe I'm just soft, I don't know. About 3 years ago. Okay. My big problem is that people sing in it. Why do people sing in movies? I don't know. I seem to be alone in my hatred of musicals. It's just not natural to start singing. And you know, they say that the singing in the musicals was something born out of a Great Depression. So I'd be horrified, you know, given our current financial thing and the state of the world. Like, you know, if we turn back to musicals, that's going to be devastating. You love musicals. Yeah. The worst musical I've ever seen. Tish, I don't know whether you've seen this one, but, you know, feel free to chime in on your worst and favourite musical. But my worst musical, and I ended up screening it about, screening this musical, somewhere in the realm of 20 times for my business, cinema business, was Mamma Mia. Holy moly. Mamma Mia. I don't know. I don't get it. Favourite musical, you know, but as a typical bloke kind of thing is, you know, oh, the Blues Brothers is alright as a musical. And I love the Blues Brothers. It's great. I don't know if you class it as a musical. Got music in it. Well, I suppose people break into song, don't they? But it's a music thing. I screened the film Moana quite a bit. The songs in Moana are pretty good. I do like Jermaine from the Flight of the Conchords. He makes an appearance singing the song of the crab. That crab is fantastic. It's my favourite part. Artist Haven, Mamma Mia was okay. I love ABBA, so I tolerated it. My favourite is Rocky Horror. Oh yeah, Rocky Horror. I don't have a musical I don't like really. Okay, well, that's interesting. So yeah, Rocky Horror, screened that many times for like cult movie nights and things like that to large audiences. It's really good. Like I do like Rocky Horror. I'm kind of, I love B-grade kind of science fiction and horror films from the 50s and 60s, so I suppose it kind of, that whole Frankenstein thing and the haunted house, well it's not really a haunted house, kind of appealed to me when I was a kid as well, so yeah, Rocky Horror's up there. Trying to think of any others that I like or dislike. Australian films seem to go through this thing of having ABBA on the soundtrack. I don't know, like, if you're into ABBA, you might have seen quite a few of the Australian films, like Muriel's Wedding and Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. I don't know, there seemed to be an ABBA overload in the, I don't know, when was that? Late 90s, maybe? Mid to late 90s? When at that time, probably, you know, my favourite bands were stuff like Nirvana and, you know, so, needless to say, I didn't really... I know ABBA's been around longer than that, but, you know, that's how it kind of... ABBA came into my life, and the fact that my mum had the albums. Saving Priscilla was good. I haven't had much time for movies other than kids ones since about 1999. Yeah, I know exactly how you feel. Jelly Duck, I just want to say thanks for recommending me about Groove Sessions by Chinese Man. Great samples and amazing beats. That's cool. I'm glad you got into that. I kind of, because you mentioned stuff about David Albarn and Blur and stuff like that, and you said you're kind of into that, and I thought it had a bit of that kind of Gorillaz-y kind of feel. And I just stumbled across Chinese Man on Spotify, kind of suggested music, and yeah, I really love it. Used to roller skate to ABBA. I'm showing my age a bit, yeah, I was really young, okay. Well, yeah. I would have roller skated to ABBA if I could roller skate. We had the roller drones or whatever you call them. So, I'm 46. So, I'm in that realm, but you know, when I say the 90s is the thing, it's kind of, you know, when I was an impressionable teenager, being rebellious and sticking it to society, you know. But you know, I still kind of have that mindset. I have a trouble working for anybody and all that kind of stuff. That's why I don't fit in very well to the regular kind of 9 to 5 job person and all that kind of stuff. Like even the lawn mowing that I'm doing is a job that I've created myself. So I think I'm kind of an entrepreneur at heart. These big mountains up here, I hope they don't look too scary. I mean, it's meant to be fun. They're going and having fun. I got to scoot through. Have a great day. Thank you very much, Alice Haven, for dropping by, Tish. Hopefully I'll be able to get to some of yours sometime soon. I'm getting a bit more mowing work, so it gets me out and about and gives me a chance to kind of look at stuff, because trying to look at stuff with kids around at home can be quite difficult sometimes. So yeah, just love that work that you do. Do you know what I think we need? We need a tree that has a swing and a slide and that kind of stuff. And yep, see you next time, Tish. Thanks again. I find this quite therapeutic, drawing landscapey type stuff. So what have you been getting up to, Jelly Duck? You're doing more mixing some grooves that you were doing in GarageBand. That was pretty cool, that stuff you're doing in GarageBand. I've often thought I'd like to do some of my own music and stuff for vlogs and that when I finally get back into doing vlogs. But then I realised that I really don't have a musical bone in my body. I'm a music appreciator. I'm a bigger music appreciator. I know what I like, but I'm not very good at doing it myself. I'm still making 80s synthwave music. Nice. You might get a job on the next guy's film. What's that guy that did that film Drive? I forget what that guy's name was. You ever see that film Drive? What's that guy in Drive? Is it Ryan Gosling? Is it Ryan Gosling? I'm starting to lose it. I've been watching too many kids' films. I'm Disneyed out. I need to get into some Studio Ghibli. Oh, I'm about to run out of batteries on the laptop. What have we got there? 3%. 11. Yeah, I think I've got to go do my lawn soon. Well, there's my drawing so far. I might be putting in a tree with a swing, I think. You know, making it more appealing. Maybe a cubby. Oh, a cubby house would be nice. See, this is how I go. I start drawing and then I go, oh, let's do this, let's do that, let's do that, let's add a little bit more. That's why it kind of takes a while. Anyway, I need to go to bed, Jelly Duck. Good night, Jelly Duck. Have a good night's sleep. And we'll catch you soon some other time. And so there's me drawing so far. Might need a few more additions, bit of cloud, bit of this, bit of that. But there we go. Thanks so much everyone for joining. Catch you later.